This is Jon Acuff. Hi, John.
Hey, guys.
First question, just with that introduction, we were kind of talking before the show, and the question is, what's on your business card? Or like if someone says, hey, I'm Steve, hey, what do you do? How do you answer that question?
I'll show you one of my business cards.
Okay.
It's a miracle of technology. So this is my business card. It is large and it's designed like a library card.
Uh-huh.
And it is letterpress, so it feels, impressive.
Yep.
It's got my books listed. So I don't really have a title. It says Acuff, Jon. I mean, it's like like you'd see in the back of a book.
Oh, sweet.
So I put it all together. I think the more awkward thing is when you meet people. This happened just the other day. Somebody said, "What do you do?" And I said, "I'm a writer." They first think you're lying,
right?
And they go, "No, but like, what do you do for money?" That's kind of what the face says. And then you go, and they go, "What do you write?" And you say, "I write books," and there's still a lot of doubt and confusion, or that maybe I'm bringing that in my own insecurity. But I just say I write books and I speak. And the speak part's the part people don't understand. I think they're like right now you speak, or you go places with belts on and speak, and it's the latter.
I think their hesitation is who write books that live on a bench. Like there's just that occupation does lend itself to wide extremes of society.
Yeah, I write books in the library, the public library, because it keeps you humble. Because you're surrounded by millions of other books that some author is like, the world needs this book. And it's ended up on a shelf where a man in sweatpants at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday is thumbing through it. You're right. There is a wide swath of people that say, I write books. And it's wider now because of self-publishing.
Oh yeah. So did you are any of your works self-published, or did you kind of from the get-go jump on a legitimate branding?
No, my first two books were self-published, and they were horrible. And I did them myself, and I just basically self-published for me was copy and paste blog. 98% of everything I wrote was considered the best of. It's like when Rolling Stone magazine does, the 200 best Beatles songs, and there's 400.
Yeah, yeah.
There was 50% are on the best of list.
I feel kind of slighted actually, because I think I paid money for one of them books. I don't recall which one it is right now.
No, you did not, sir, because you are not my mom. I know for a fact you do not own any of my self-published books.
Actually, she said that my son was a writer and I should pay for it. I was just doing what I was told.
Well, if she was selling them to you, then I don't know who that woman was, but she was most definitely not my mom.
Most of the story that I've just told there is not true.
Actually, I was going to be quite impressed with Acuff's guerrilla marketing. He sends out his mom with a bunch of books in his trunk. Hit the streets.
About moving units.
Blog called Stuff Christians Like, and it's interesting because from my perspective, like you carry a lot of influence. There's a lot of people that follow you on social media and stuff. And I guess one of the things I was wondering was, have you ever like felt the weight of that type of influence that you have with that many people kind of holding on to words that you send out there, even kind of passive things that you might throw out? Has the weight of that kind of ever hit you in an interesting way?
Yeah, it's funny you said the word interesting, because that's one of those words that can mean horrible or great.
Yeah.
Like if you ever tell a buddy your idea and they go, interesting, it means they either hate it or they like it. And usually it's the hate. But for me, no, I mean, I guess the weight of it's a weird thing, because I try not to look down. Like I try to walk across it and just ridiculous stuff, because I never want to lose that idea of that it's just fun. And you should never take yourself too seriously. And I don't like when folks that get some influence just get drunk on it. I go through that every now and then. I needed like 3 followers on Twitter to become a jerk. I have a low jerk threshold. So I try to have fun with it. I try to remember it's the internet. I try to remember that most of this stuff is temporary. So I try not to define myself by it, and just have fun with it.
Actually, I was going to ask you a little bit, like, because with the sheer number of interactions on social media you have, like every once in a while I'll read one and think there's got to be days when you're just not interested in doing that. So do you keep like 15 in the can, that you can just throw out if the day's really not lending?
You sure haven't been tweeting a lot lately, and I wanted to say, well, I'm writing a book. Like I can only do so many bear attacks jokes, and so yeah, there's definitely days, where I just there's nothing funny for me to say. And it's not that I want to write emo poetry that sounds like The Cure. It's not that I want to write something sad instead. It's just there's some days where you just don't have it. I try to schedule stuff out to the best that I can, but I like the live in the moment stuff. That's why I live tweet stuff like the Grammys, because it's fun. I like that challenge. So yeah, but there's definitely days, especially blogging. Blogging is fun for the first day you blog. Every day after that is hard. Because the first day you're like, I got a blog, I registered, like I already got business cards, and you're telling all your friends, and you're looking at Google Analytics and becoming a credible reading from like Guam. And then like day 3, you're like, man, every day I have to do content, and this is tiring. So yeah, it comes and goes.
Yeah, I mean, I was just it has to be difficult, especially kind of with the type of stuff that you do. I mean, you could only see Hacksaw Jim Duggan at the airport like once every few months, you know, like it just doesn't walk into your lap. And there's got to be times where you feel like people have an expectation to be able to hear from you, and I don't know, you feel like you have to do something, and I don't know, that just seems like it might be difficult at times.
Yeah, I think it is, and I think part of it's just taking breaks, and part of knowing that, like, there's never going to be a time where you tweet something that somebody doesn't misinterpret or not like. You know, I tweeted one time, I think I said something like, if I was a pig, I'd be so upset about how in Renaissance. Like, do you remember 10 years ago we went through the mullet Renaissance where like everything was a mullet joke, and there's